Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And this week I'm doing movies in honor of Memorial Day. And today I'm doing the 1985 film, The Dirty Dozen Next Mission. Here is your trivia question for today. While trying to land the damaged plane at the end of the film, what song are the remaining survivors singing to try to keep calm? The answer will be at the end of this episode. So, in this sequel film, we are back in 1944 during World War II. Major General Worden learns of a plot that an SS general named Dietrich plans on assassinating a particular German leader. The belief is that if that happens at this time, it will only instill the Third Reich to becoming stronger. So, they decide that they're going to try and send a team in to take out the assassin. Now, since this is a suicide mission, they of course reach back out to Major Reisman, so he must once again head to the military prison to collect a group of degenerates that are either on death row or have long sentences to use for this mission. So, for some reason, they briefly have 13, but then they quickly change to just being 12, and once again, there is a group called the Dirty Dozen, and they must go through rigorous training to be able to complete their mission. Now, unfortunately, the timetable gets moved up, and the team must go now when some of them are not even fully prepared. So, throughout their journey, they will take every mode of transportation possible: planes, trains, automobiles, trucks, all in hopes of finally getting to their target. So, will our motley crew be able to complete their morally gray objective? And even if they do, will any of them make it back home? This movie was directed by Andrew V. McLaglen. Supposedly, this film takes place within the same year as the first one, which of course is funny as there is an 18-year gap between the first and second movies being made. What's truly funny, though, is that you can definitely tell this big age gap has occurred due to three of the returning stars for the film: Lee Marvin, Richard Yeckel, and Ernest Borgnine. Apparently, war truly can age you. This movie is Wolf Kahler's first appearance in a Dirty Dozen movie, but he would also appear in the next film, The Dirty Dozen The Deadly Mission, and in the Dirty Dozen television series, but in all three times he's playing a different character. This film was Lee Marvin's television movie debut. Just like the first film, this one is entirely filmed in England. The model railway miniatures that Worden and Reisman are using to make their plan were made by a company called Airfix. What's funny though is this set was not made until 1974, and with the film taking place in 1944, apparently someone was a time traveler. So just like in the first film, Reisman has the entire plan set out in a count-off that is rhyming. In the first film, there were 16. In this one, there's only 11. If you want to, feel free to pause the video if you want to read all of them. So when it comes to the film, The Dirty Dozen Next Mission, or as I call it, The Dirty Dozen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, as they try so very hard to have almost all of the movie take place in different vehicles, I just really did not like this one. A few of the reasons are: number one, I thought the plot was terrible. Number two, none of the characters were likable this time around. Number three, they tried so hard for this to feel like an exact copy of the first film. And of course, the most ridiculous part is how old some of the characters are now. The three returning characters have aged so much that it's completely unbelievable that this is within the same year. There's even specific instances in the movie where they're using the exact same lines from the first film. So, unfortunately, I am definitely giving this one a 1 out of 5. Now it's time for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode. While trying to land the damaged plane at the end of the film, what song are the remaining survivors singing to try to keep calm? They are singing Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree, which during World War II there were two very popular versions, one by Glenn Miller and one by the Andrews Sisters. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews, and if there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments.